to dance and sing it out that you may never have seen. Welcome to Nauvoo. Welcome to Nauvoo. And walk the streets of old Nauvoo, meet me at Newell and May. Let's roll along to Water Street and past the red brick store again. Explore the Mississippi wide, dig for a bucket of clams. We'll try our luck at catching a fish. There in the winter we'll stay if you wish. A steamboat ride or an old canoe on the river by Nauvoo. A quick retreat up Farley Street, blacksmith is working today. The ladies we will likely see at Sarah Kimball's quilting bee. Take a turn up down to Partridge Way, assemble at Hardship and high. The lion drive will deliver a treat. Won't it be sweet when we gather to meet? A rendezvous in old Nauvoo on the streets of old Nauvoo. Pick a baker's dozen at the Scoville Bakery to take to rest the snow and actually by the pottery. A buggy ride to Derby Street, visit the Winters and bars. Around the corner there will be a chance to wave to Beaver Sea. Take a stop at the printer shop, order a notice or two. At Taylor's home we'll pay a call, travel on to the 70s hall. We welcome you to the cultural hall for a view of old Nauvoo.
Welcome to the Cultural Hall. Beautiful, isn't it? Tonight we'd like to take you back to the 1840s, when this Hall of Culture was fresh, in a brand new city, Nauvoo. We'd like you to meet some of the beautiful people who lived here, and let you see what kind of people they were, what brought them here, how they lived and how they felt. Some of the stories we'll tell you tonight are true ones, just as recorded in their own life histories, and some are fictitious, based on incidents that really happened or could have happened.
Hello, I'm Noah Packer III. My wife Sophia and I, with our family, joined up with the Latter-day Saints in Quincy, Illinois, just as they made their sad journey from Missouri in the spring of 1839. But I want to tell you where I came from and how I became a Latter-day Saint in the first place. My people were among the first Americans. For you see, one of my great-great-great-grandfathers was John Alden, and his descendants carried on his courageous struggle for the love of liberty. And those principles of American liberty grew in my bosom as I grew.
As a young man, Noah left his father's house out of Massachusetts, across the great state of New York, and into the state of Ohio, where we met and were married.
Neither my wife had made any profession of religion, though we were Bible-reading Christians.
Why, Brother Noah, I believe you're good enough to join our church, and I'm inviting you to do so.
Why, if I knew I was the best Christian on the face of this earth, I would not join any church under the heavens. The creeds of today are not right. Folks go to meeting on the Sabbath day.
On the Sabbath day, on the Sabbath day,
With a long, long face.
with a long, long face.
But they turn right around on another day,
On another day, on another day,
and in another place.
on another day, in another place, on another day.
They'll cheat their neighbor and make a lie, and that don't set right with such as I.
They'll cheat their neighbor and make a lie, and don't set right with such as I.
I love and revere all the good,
All the good, all the good.
for I was taught to pray.
Taught to pray, taught to pray, taught to pray.
I read my scriptures and believe we should
Believe we should, believe we should.
be led astray on the latter day.
Be led astray on the latter day.
false teachers and prophets would deceive the elect, and many good men would never detect.
False teachers and prophets to deceive the elect, and many good men would never detect.
When lo and behold, a rumor did fly,
A rumor did fly, a rumor did fly.
that a golden Bible being dug from the earth.
Dug from the earth, dug from the earth.
I had a neighbor who testified,
Who testified, who testified.
this Bible's worth.
Bible's worth, Bible's worth, Bible's worth.
Now I had a duty to go and correct this evil deception of the very elect.
Now he had a duty to go and correct this evil deception of the very elect.
We were convinced that the Book of Mormon was a true record containing the fullness of the gospel of Jesus Christ.
Accordingly, we were baptized by Party P. Pratt and moved here to Nauvoo.
What's the matter, James?
I need to talk to you, man to man.
About
People, men and women.
all women?
No, not all. Women like,
Marie.
kinda like.
Kinda.
No, not kinda.
Exactly.
That's right. Well, now that you brought it up, exactly like.
Marie.
Gosh, Dad, you're wonderful. You just seem to be able to cut right through this. Difficult, complicated, hard to fathom, naughty.
Problem.
Boy, is it a problem.
Because you're different?
Boy, are we different. You know, Dad, men are not at all like women. Not at all. Have you noticed?
Have you?
Have I? Have I? That's what I need to talk to you about.
You're afraid.
Of her? No. Yeah, but mostly of me.
Because she's a woman.
Or because I'm a man. At least sometimes I am. Sometimes I break out into a cold sweat. And sometimes I feel like I'm on fire. And sometimes I get so giddy I can fly. And then I get real sad. Dad, I've never felt like this before. Sometimes I just want to drop to my knees and pray. Mostly for repentance. Oh, Dad, it's wonderful. And sometimes it's... Dad, am I different?
No, you're a man in love with a woman.
A special woman. Marie. Dad, I love her so much. I want to give her everything. All that I have. All that's wonderful, precious.
What's precious and wonderful to you?
I don't know. I know that'd be easy for you and Mom. Without thinking, we say our religion.
And you?
I don't know. I love it. No, it's true, but I'm afraid.
Afraid?
Afraid if I push it, I'll...
Afraid you might lose her.
Yeah, kinda, because her and her Mom and Dad...
We might force them to act like us and join our church.
Yeah, would we?
Would you?
Might try. Only because I love them, but we never force them.
They don't know that.
Guess they don't.
Is that why they're afraid?
That and all the other things about us they don't know.
We're all afraid of the unknown.
Is that why the whole wide world's against us? Why they want to drive us out of Nauvoo?
Seems like the world is against us. They don't understand us. We are different, and so they're afraid.
Kind of like a man who doesn't understand his woman.
Like a man who doesn't understand his woman.
I guess we're all afraid of anything different. Afraid of what we don't know. I feel better now.
Well, I'm glad.
Thanks for teaching me.
Not be afraid of the unknown.
How about women?
Women?
How different we are. Thanks, Ma.
For what?
See, man to man talk. We never talked about such private things with Mom.
No, of course not.
Sure feels good.
To know all about women?
Yeah, sure feels good.
Sometime soon. Before you forget. Would you teach me?
All about women? Oh, Pa. Say, Pa, what would you think if I started by telling her what a nice house I'd like to build for her.
Here's your chance. I see her coming now.
Hello, Marie.
Hello, James.
Marie, there's something I want to talk to you about.
Yes?
Have you seen how the chickadees feed each other?
Uh-huh. Have you seen how the male cardinal puts seeds in the female's mouth?
Have you noticed how the hens gather string and straw for their nests? Well, I'll build a house for you, a nice front porch and a porch swing too. We'll have a home just our own way. We'll have a large front room, closet space to store your broom. You choose the time and name the day.
We'll have shingles on the roof to protect come rain or shine. We'll have handsome shutters on the door.
Real glass windows show reflections of your pretty face, shining back to make you smile. So
I will keep it clean and shiny. Will the doorways be too tiny? Look, good kitchen door, oaken planks upon the floor, fresh white
in the curtains too.
I will cook a meal for you, Paris chefs I will outdo. Just for you, a gastronomical affair, I promise hereunto.
I'll build a house for you, a likely place for just us two, and we'll live happy evermore. I'll build a house for you, anything you want me to, a perfect house you will adore.
Stop, won't we need a sturdy set of stairs?
How else would you get up there?
Wait, could we have a balcony to sit on?
I'll build a house for you,
I would love to live there too.
we'll make a happy rendezvous.
There would be a path with flowers leading to a gate with flowers.
Look, the birds have come to
They
stay.
like the home this very way.
They love the home that I will build for you.
George? George? Oh, George, we've got to stop. Oh, my heart. If they keep this up, I know my heart's going to stop. I just can't take this anymore, George. If that Mormon keeps hankering after our daughter,
Only James.
oh, I know, but he and Marie have yearned for one another ever since they were children. But he's grown, George, grown right up into a man. A man, George.
I get there.
And if that Mormon keeps hankering after my daughter, just see, no good can come of it. He's a Mormon. And Mormon can make of her. And Mormon, our grandchildren will be, oh, just thinking about it starts my heart fluttering all over again. Oh, those children will be the death of me. I wish those Mormons weren't even here. Somebody ought to drive them out. Get rid of them before they convert this whole place. Oh, George, do something besides twiddle those thumbs. Maybe you could do something like, George, George. Oh, you're going to be the death of me, George.
The 6.5 years in Nauvoo were happy years. You know, the oldest and largest women's organization in the world was organized right here in Nauvoo when a score of women met for the first time in 1842. At their second meeting, 44 new members joined, including the mother of the prophet. The ladies were terribly excited, and I'm afraid a bit frivolous, as Sister Emma Smith tried to start the meeting.
Sisters, I'd like to introduce our program chairman, Nellie Rogers. She has this time, sisters. I'm going to tell you how I feel and how the research and the news are pleasant and rapid.
Oh, Madam Chairman, if we could, I'd like to hand in a motion. Could we
Isn't this a splendid way to spend a really perfect day? A little friends to greet and something good to eat. A chance to hear the news both sad and sweet. Our plans to meet will be a treat. And to appease my husband, we're having all this fun. I'll show him this mountain of mending I have done. And I'll let John what I have learned from listening to the chat. And lime and ginger root to cure both this and that.
Well, David says the reason women knit to give them nuts and then to think on while they talk and sing. Well, I'll show him I've learned a thing or two. Your recipe for Johnny cake will make you humble too.
Isn't this a splendid way to spend a really perfect day? My dinner's getting done while I am having fun, enjoying a retreat from noonday sun. A perfect day for everyone. Well, now let us plan how to come all those in need. Our meetings must engender a sisterhood indeed. And also can we use our time to learn from one another. I'm often better understood by sister than a brother.
Well, I don't need to make an apology for meeting with this friendly fraternity. Like be deprived of this society, I needed to retain my normal sanity.
Isn't this a splendid way to spend a really perfect day? With basketball to mend, find better ways to spend, and household tips I learned from every friend. Isn't this a perfect day? Isn't this a perfect day?
Emma, you have long been known for ministering to the needs of your neighbors and for your personal warmth and wit. It is right. You should be the president of this women's organization.
An appropriate affirmation. You've always been the church's first lady.
Thank you, sisters. There is much need of our services among our struggling saints. What are your suggestions for our most important endeavors?
We can sell clothing for the temple workers and for our missionaries. And we must secure temporary homes for the gathering saints who arrive daily from Europe and America.
And we must train ourselves to be angels of mercy in times of illness, childbirth, and death. Mother Smith, we're so pleased to have you with us today. Would you care to say a word before we close our meeting?
Thank you. I am pleased to be here. I observe this institution to be a good one. We must cherish one another, watch over one another, comfort one another, and gain instruction. And we may all sit down together together. Let us pray for our prophet.
We ever pray for thee, our prophet dear, that God will give to thee comfort and cheer as the advancing years furrow thy brow. Still may the light within shine bright as now. Still may the light within shine bright as now.
Nauvoo is becoming the most promising and thrifty city in Illinois, and its fame extended throughout the nation. Strangers from far and near made it a point to visit Nauvoo, and they admired the sobriety, industry, and public spirit of the citizens. The Latter-day Saint people never intended their city to be exclusively Mormon. They desired a peaceful city that tolerated religious differences. Invitations were sent to men of integrity throughout the United States. inviting them to come to Nauvoo and to assist in building up a glorious city. Some visitors came with matrimonial intentions. In fact, here comes Abigail from Warsaw right now.
Come in. Abigail, what are you doing here in Nauvoo?
Now, don't you get the wrong impression, Peter. I didn't come up here all the way from Warsaw to see you. Exactly. I have business here in town.
What business?
I have to buy a new barrel to put my pickles in next summer.
I don't have any pickle barrels.
I know. I plan on picking one up at the Coopers.
Don't they sell barrels in Warsaw?
Well, yes, but they're too expensive there.
Oh, so you pay a boat fare $2.50 round trip to save 25 cents on a barrel?
All right, then. I did come to see you. I felt it was my obligation, seeing as we once been a great deal to each other. You did propose to me once, you know.
Yes, I remember.
Well, I thought I should come and tell you Ezra Kyler has asked for my hand.
Well, did you give it to him?
Oh, Peter, be serious.
I guess Ezra knows a good thing when he sees it.
Is that all you're going to say?
What do you want me to say?
Well, I was hoping you'd say, don't marry him. I still have it in mind. Well, you did until you read that silly book.
That's not a silly book, Abigail.
Any book that would keep a man from marrying an attractive widow with one of the largest homes in Warsaw has to be silly.
Why don't you read it and find out?
Oh, I wouldn't touch that Book of Mormon with a 10-foot pole.
Why not?
Because everyone says it's false, even Ezra.
How would he know? Ezra can't even read.
Well, he's smart enough to listen to what other folks have to say. The Reverend Newberry says it's a pack of lies.
Has he read it?
No, and he's not going to. He says it's leading everyone astray. Peter, what good has that book ever done anyway?
Why, that book has built this town.
This town is nothing but riprap.
Oh, this vast is drifting in here all right. They're getting off the boats every day.
Well, thank you very much.
Well, I didn't mean you, Abigail. I meant those counterfeiters and horse thieves that come in here hiding behind decent folks' skirts. Then everything they do gets blamed on the Mormons. It's not a shabby town, Abigail. Didn't you notice?
All I noticed was the muddy streets. I've never stepped over so many mud holes in my life.
Well, we're working on them. But the men are so busy, building a temple, going on missions, that everything can't get done all at once. Have you noticed some of the nice homes?
I haven't seen a one that's any nicer than the two-story one my late husband built for me.
Well, if you had moved here, I'd consider building you one even nicer than yours. Maybe even as nice as Heber Kimball's.
No, I couldn't live here among all you Mormons. I'd be afraid.
Afraid of what?
Afraid you might make me believe that silly book. What's in it that's so important anyway?
Why, it's the second witness that Jesus is the Christ.
But I don't need a second witness. I already know he is.
Well, wouldn't you like to read about everything that Christ did?
I already know everything he did.
Did you know he came to America?
There. That proves the book is a lie.
Why?
Because if he had, he would have told people in Jerusalem he was coming here.
He did.
I've never read that.
He said to his disciples, "Other sheep I have which are not of this fold. Them also I must bring. And they shall hear my voice, and there shall be one fold and one shepherd."
That doesn't prove he came to America.
Well, it proves you went somewhere and preached. Here, let me give you this book and you can read about it.
There's no sense in giving it to me. I just throw it in the river.
Well, you could always read it to Ezra. Ought to have something to read to him.
Now, you quit making light of Ezra just because he can't read and he's lost all of his hair. Doesn't mean he isn't just as smart and bright as you. He certainly enjoys my cooking.
Does he like pickles?
What does that have to do with me marrying him?
You said you were figuring out putting up a whole barrel full.
Now, you quit trying to get my goat, Peter the main reason for me coming here. It's the pickle you're in. Why can't you be sensible and forget all this anyway? A year from now, that book will be forgotten.
No, it won't, Abigail. It would if it were false, but it's not. And 100 years from now, people would still be reading it.
Oh, Peter, I so hoped you'd come to your senses. That book will be withdrawn before the year is even out. And I'll be married to Ezra. And you'll feel sorry. So will I.
Well, you're right about me feeling sorry. But you're wrong about that book, Abigail. Someday, thousands of missionaries will carry the Book of Mormon to every nation in the world. It will be published in every language.
Oh, what a waste of time it has been for me to ride that steamer all the way up here.
Abigail,
Yes?
don't forget your pickle barrel.
Oh.
From Nauvoo, many dedicated missionaries went forth. Erastus Snow was typical when he converted Nathaniel Ashby in Massachusetts. Nathaniel Ashby was a wealthy shoe manufacturer, and upon arrival in Nauvoo, the two new friends built a duplex to house their families on the corner of Harley and Hyde.
Frontier families tended to be large, and here in Nauvoo, even such a well-built house as the Snow Ashby complex was hard-pressed to accommodate the 10 children of Nathaniel Ashby.
The Ashby boys are numerous, so many in their clan, but never pick on one the others back into a man. What law we call the luckless chap who makes an enemy, he struggles not with one but with the whole big family.
One small Ashby boy earned the lick. The teacher fetched the hickory stick. Ashby boys pronounce the plea.
Whip me, man, let the smaller boy go free.
With 7 Ashby boys all wearing shoe size number 8, there may be shoes for someone, others simply have to wait.
My father found solutions when the boys were on parade. He proudly piled us in a wagon, no bare feet displayed.
Ashby girls have shoe problems too. Fashionable footwear is strictly taboo. Father says it's sensible to wear this clod. I'd rather go barefoot than look so very odd. Good court and Ashby girls, the suitor finds no privacy. Just contemplate the lack of space in such a family. The suit is in the parlor on the porch or balcony. A search reveals that there's no place for two alone to be.
Public courtship bears no surprise. Keep the rules, be prudent and wise. If you spark in the parlor or balcony, you'll be courted a fascinating family.
When
Public courtship bears no surprise. Keep the rules, be prudent and wise. If you spark in the parlor or balcony,
you'll be courted a fascinating family.
Conflicts and turmoil grew worse for the Mormon people. The prophet and his brother Hiram were arrested and incarcerated in Carthage jail with 2 of the apostles, Willard Richards and John Taylor. To comfort their grave circumstances, the prophet asked John to sing his favorite hymn, which tells of a suffering stranger who at last reveals himself as the Savior. This hymn is still loved because of the role it played in the final hours before the martyrdom of Joseph and Hiram.
A poor wayfaring man of grief hath often crossed me on my way, who sued so humbly for relief that I could never answer nay. I had not power to ask his name, whereto he went or whence he came. Yet there was something in his eyes knew not why. Then in a moment to my view the stranger started from disguise. The tokens in his hands I knew, the Savior stood before mine eyes. He spake and my forename he named, of me thou hast not been ashamed. These deeds shall thy memorial be, fear not thou didst them unto me.
The city mourned the loss of their beloved prophet, but under the direction of Brigham Young, who has become their next prophet, and to avoid a civil war, the saints prepared to leave their beautiful Nauvoo. They were faced with two staggering tasks: completion of their temple and acquisition of equipment and supplies for a long journey.
My goodness, Martin, hurry up and shut the door before I freeze to death. How come you're home so soon? I thought you had a meeting with Rendevous this morning.
I did have. So I need to change my clothes to get back down to the culture hall and help them put more of those wagon boxes together.
But this is your day off, and you promised you'd drive me to the dressmakers today.
We won't have time to get to that dress made now, Sarah. We've got to leave sooner than we thought.
Sooner than May? How much sooner? When?
First part of February.
First part of February? That's less than 10 days away. How come we have to leave then?
Because they're afraid if we don't get out, there'll be a civil war.
They? Who wants us to go?
The government.
But we promised we wouldn't fight, that we would only use our weapons to protect ourselves.
Well, if we don't hurry and get out, the government will send in the militia. They'll take away our weapons, and we'll be at the mercy of the mob.
But we wouldn't go against our government.
Of course not. We love our country. We know that Columbus, the men who formed the Constitution, were inspired of God. This is God's country. It's the promised land. We wouldn't go against our government, but they don't know that.
Well, I don't understand this at all.
Well, we can't stay here, so we'd better decide exactly what we can take with us.
Well, I'm not going.
You're not going.
No. You think I'm going to go on a trip like this in the middle of the winter? You've got another thing coming in for you suicide.
Brigham Young wouldn't ask us to go if he didn't think we could do it.
Well, maybe Brigham Young could stand the cold. A lot better than women and children. We'd all die of pneumonia.
Oh, we'll bundle up. We'll build fires at night.
In 20-degree below zero weather. What about the babies? When to be born?
They'll be born in the wagons.
Oh, in the wagons? I suppose you'd expect that I'd take a bath in back of the wagon at Rendevous, too.
Well, that we can postpone until we get out there.
Well, that does it. If you think I'm going to ride with you all the way to the Rocky Mountains and you not have a bath?
I'll take a shower.
How?
In the spring rains. Now, seriously, Sarah, I want you to make a list of the necessities, but you can't take more than what you can get in that chest.
Can I put my rosewood bed in that chest?
You'll take your feather tip, and that's about all.
Well, I don't know why I'm worrying about it because I'm not going.
Well, then buy some.
Why? I'm not going. And you couldn't even make yourself a cup of ginger tea.
Sarah, that's why I'm taking you. There's nothing like a good hot cup of ginger tea to keep a man warm. Now I'll build a crate for those chickens, and I'll buy a rooster.
He won't want to go any more than I do.
Nonsense. With all those hens to keep him company, he'll be crowing all the way.
I won't be throwing.
You need to take 2 cows, 3 sheep, and 1 pig.
Well, this is one sheep that's not following.
Sarah, don't you believe the gospel of Jesus Christ is true?
Of course I do, but I can believe it's true sitting right here by this nice warm fire, rather than freezing to death out in back of the wagon.
I guess I married God. fair weather bird.
But you're right, and I'll fly west when spring comes.
If you wait till then, your wings will be clipped, and you won't be able to fly at all. Now, should we have that corn ground into meal here, or wait till we get out there?
How will we get it ground out there? Smash it between two stones?
Yes, 2 millstones. Just because we're going to a new land doesn't mean we have to leave our brains behind us. Give us 1 year. 1 year in the West, and we'll build a city larger and just as beautiful as Nauvoo.
Oh, as beautiful as Nauvoo. Without flowers and fruit and trees. I hear all they have out west is sagebrush. Whatever that is.
We can take some tree saplings with us.
In the middle of the river.
Well, we'll stop over in the Iowa Territory in the spring and pick those up.
Well, when those trees are big enough to shade me, then I'll decide to go.
Sarah, when we left Ohio, you didn't complain. You didn't grumble too much. When we were driven out of Missouri, you didn't. But now, I guess you're just too old to cope.
Too old to cope? Well, who was it who had to put the fires out? When those men set our haystacks afire. That was me. And who put the pigs back in the pen when those boys set them loose and they ran all the way down to the river? Me. And who drove our team all the way across Missouri? Orson, you get that chest in the wagon and I'll start packing.
Sarah, I knew you'd go. I'll get that wagon ready.
And so now blue, I say farewell to you. With numb and aching heart, one last adieu. As through my tears I look to homes beyond, could ever I be gone upon a shoe. When corners sun, when sunset glow, when Nauvoo done with silhouette of woods and snow. And so I go and find my aching heart. No one will see my tears when I depart. This home I leave will shelter memories clear of all that I hold dear. Old
Here in Nauvoo, the Mormon people had lived their lives, built their homes and gardens, and operated their shops, united by a religious belief that was not just a faith, but a way of life. Their exodus from Nauvoo began the only migration in which an entire community moved itself and its industries, institutions, religions, schools, and its political and cultural concepts to the far west. They took their faith, their families, their poor, and their sick, and established a new community that was almost entirely self-supporting.
Maggie, stop your packing and listen.
You're paying more attention to those gold-earned pots and pans than you are to me.
Well, I can't decide whether to leave the pans with the stouts or the Ravens.
Give the glass of pans to one and the pots to the other. Maggie, don't leave me.
But my wagon is already ordered.
Yeah, and with what? Medicine and herbs for?
Well, for the old and the sick and those that need care.
You're always caring for someone else. You care for this whole town, Maggie. Care for me.
Oh, I do, Buford.
Yeah, like I was any old man. Or like all those kids that run around calling you grandma. You know, I'm jealous of them, all those dads, glass of red nose little brats that I have to line up with just to get you to pat me on the head. Shoot, I didn't want to beat up that one that you was patting on the road. He was 5. Now you're leaving on some dumb trip. What?
Well, it makes me happy to be with my people.
Well, happy. I suppose you're happy when they drove you all out of Missouri?
Well, no, but at peace.
Well, peace. That gives you peace?
Peace.
Maggie, help me understand.
They gave me peace. A peace that passes understanding. I can't explain it. But the Bible says, my peace I give unto you. Not as the world giveth.
There you
I
go.
give.
Stop in Scripture. You know that don't help me none. It only confuses me more.
Well, the night they burned my barn, His Spirit, the Spirit of Jesus Christ, flamed in my heart, and I was filled with peace.
It'll take more than that to fill you when you're out on the plains with nothing to eat but sagebrush. You're leaving behind all the important things. Wheat, corn, and barley, ammunition for me.
Oh, Buford, you know how much you mean to me.
Well then,
Well, it's just no use. You won't change.
I will. I'll change.
From hell to them,
Damn.
damn to darn,
Darn.
darn to shoot,
Shoot.
shoot to fudge.
Hell, Maggie, I can't say it.
When we plenty of wine,
Well, it's easier chewing it up than it is spitting it out.
that shoots.
A man's got to do something.
No, but not fill your mouth with tobacco and spit.
You don't expect me to swallow that stuff, do you?
I don't want you to touch it at all. And Buford, you can't come to town all cranked up.
Hey, that was only a glow.
Sometimes it's a real blaze.
Well, that religion you won't let a man do nothing.
Oh, it brings a man to do everything.
I'm free.
You're a slave to those habits.
I am not. Why? I quit chewing 100 times.
And your temper, the way you hit that man,
Bad mouth you want it.
well, the Lord has asked us to turn the other cheek.
I did. He did. Then I hit him.
Not just once.
Sure, the good book says if a man's sick, you lay on hand. Yeah, that boy was sick. He was real sick. Maggie, take me.
But you don't even believe in our problem.
I believe in you.
You don't have a testimony that the first sign of trouble not me.
What trouble?
Well, being persecuted.
You better not touch you.
But you've got to have
I
faith.
got faith.
But in the Lord, I say,
Maggie, you're enough for me.
and the trip will be hard for folks at any age, but it's ours.
Ours.
We may never reach it.
Hey, who cares? If we're together, whatever the good Lord gives us, did you hear that? I'm getting churchy. Whatever the good Lord gives us, we'll eat it together. And if sorry, if we don't make it, then what then? But,
Oh, you've got to be sure.
I'm sure. I have never been sure. What do you, Maggie?
Well, like what?
Marry me.
Will you let Uncle Willie teach you
Can that old goat teach me?
the restored gospel of Jesus Christ?
All right, I will.
And will you believe in the gospel and be baptized?
Gospel means good news, John?
It does.
Yeah, I do. That's the called good news I've ever heard, and I believe.
You must teach you.
Oh, Maggie, I believed for a long time.
Then why?
Well, I've just been too damn stubborn, too darn. I've just been too much stubborn to admit. But I believe.
From why? Isn't it?
Although the Latter-day Saint people were unfairly treated by some who feared their numbers and power, they knew they had many friends in Illinois. And journals of the day record kindnesses extended to them by individuals in Missouri as well. Despite the fact that it was known that the Latter-day Saints would have to leave their beloved Nauvoo eventually, throughout the year of 1845, Many more saints continue to arrive, both from America and abroad. One young bride who moved from Salem, Massachusetts, renewed acquaintance with some of her childhood friends and cousins who had preceded her to Nauvoo, and enthusiastically wrote home to her mother in Salem.
Dear parents, I have been in the great and beautiful city of Nauvoo 1 week. I cannot wait any longer to tell you what a beautiful place Nauvoo is. I thought it would look like Florida or something similar. Oh, you cannot describe the beauty of Nauvoo on paper. It's the prettiest place I ever saw for a large place. As far as we can see, either way, there are buildings.
But not like other cities, for the ground between them is all cultivated. It looks a perfect garden.
We have commenced housekeeping and have a very pretty room in part of Brother Tom's house, with a front entry, back door, cupboard, closet, and fireplace.
Oh, and tell her it is made of brick, with 4 windows in front below and 4 half windows above. Oh, and what a view we have of the river. I just love to watch the boats passing.
And I have counted 50 trees from the front door and so many from the back I cannot count them. Well, should I tell her we're going to buy a cow?
We don't need a cow. Our kind Methodist neighbor will trade our hen's eggs for her cow's milk. It takes 2 to cooperate.
I must tell Mother. You know, she has been so worried about us from what she reads in the Salem papers about the Moggins here. She thinks we are in constant danger. She just doesn't realize how many good neighbors we have who are not members of the church, but would never harm us.
And would even sacrifice themselves to see the justice is done. Tell her about Sheriff Beaconsfield and all that he's done.
And about Squire Wells, how he has befriended us.
Hurry and finish. You must come and gather strawberries with me.
Oh, our neighbor has shared her secret garden patch for me to gather all I want.
Oh, what an intrigue. A secret strawberry patch.
Chuckle to think how our mothers would have never guessed we would someday be gathering strawberries on the prairies.
And from a secret patch, no less.
As you say, it takes 2 to cooperate. I have a secret patch or 2 I share with her as well.
Well, maybe you'll let me in on it. I can be very cooperative too, you know. It takes 2 to cooperate. It takes 2 to coordinate. It takes 2 to communicate. It takes 2, 2, 4, 6, or 8.
One alone can cooperate. One alone can coordinate. One alone can communicate.
It takes 2, 2, 4, 6, or 8.
We'll form a sweet complicity, a unanimity, where hand in glove you see, we'll agree. It takes 2 to cooperate, it takes 2 to coordinate, it takes 2 to communicate, it takes 2, 2, 4, 6, or 8. Shoulder to shoulder, together we'll weather the storm, but shoulder to shoulder, as a single act is an awkward form.
One alone can't cooperate. One alone can't coordinate. One alone can't communicate.
It takes 2, 2, 4, 6, or 8. We'll sing good night in harmony, esprit de corps, you see, Confederate company of society. It takes 2 to cooperate. It takes 2 to coordinate. It takes 2 to communicate. It takes 2, 2, 4, 6, or 8.
Make your suggestions, I'm glad to follow your lead.
But mention corrections.
Your advice is what I need. Takes 2 to cooperate. Takes 2 to coordinate. Takes 2 to communicate, associate, appreciate, accommodate, or emulate. 2. Takes 2 to cooperate, coordinate, communicate, commiserate, associate, appreciate, accommodate, or emulate. Takes 2.
At least 2.
Nice, isn't it? All those Mormons gone? I will admit, though, they were a mighty friendly people. But we hooked one of them, didn't we, George? Kept him right here with us. Oh, he and Marie made such a lovely couple. I can't hardly wait till the grandchildren start coming. George, do you think that Mormon blood will paint him? Oh, no, of course not. That's silly. Aren't I silly, George? silly, silly, silly. I am glad they're gone though. Now I can concentrate on you. George, don't sit on that table. Sit on this nice chair. George, you are getting crumbs all over this floor. It just seems I'm always cleaning up after you. Oh, George, don't wipe your hands on those pans. I just got through washing them. Oh, George, get a napkin. Oh, and your tie. Look at that crooked tie. Seems like it's always off to one side a bit. And George, your hair. Oh, your hair, George. You know I like you to look nice and neat. Oh, good. He's through here. I can put this chair back where it belongs. I do like everything nice and neat. George. No, that's the house. It gets shavings all over the floor. If you want to do this, you do it outside. George, I just put that chair where it belongs. You know I like it nice and neat. George, you're getting all over the floor and you're finding it in that George, you're getting something else on this floor. Oh, George, no ducks in this house. If I have told you once, I've told you a million times. No ducks in this house. What? Shavings, crumbs everywhere. Oh, George, why don't you go back to painting pictures like you used to? We'd be there in these dumb old ducks. You could paint birds and pretty flowers instead of those pictures you were painting of women without a mouth. Whoever Why don't you ever talk to me anymore?
Well, I want to, darling, but you never give me a chance.
George, that doll. What would my friends say if they saw you with that doll? Oh, George, if I'd known you were going to do this, I never would have married you. It's sissy, George. Sissy, sissy, sissy.
What's this? Agatha, there's a flying horse out there in our pasture.
Where? I don't see one. Oh, George, there's no such thing as a flying horse.
Yes, there is, and he's out there full Bill and Bob eating all of our hay.
Oh, George, you're acting crazy. There's no such thing as a flying horse. That's a mythical beast, George, a mythical beast.
Yes, there is, and he's got long wings coming right out of his withers.
Oh, George, you have flipped your lid and you're nuttier in the fruitcake, and you need to be put away. I know what I'll do about this. I'll get the doctor. Oh, doctor, I am so glad you're here. My husband has flipped his lid, he's nuttier in the fruitcake, and he needs to be put away. Do you know what he told me? He was looking out our window and he said he saw a flying horse out in our pasture eating all our hay. That old young dog has long wings coming right out of his withers. Who asked me? He'll tell you.
George, did you see a flying horse in that pasture?
Flying, no. A flying horse is a mythical beast.
George!
Everybody knows that.
George! That's what he said.
We'll take care of her. I'm afraid we'll have to take her away. These illusions are only temporary. She'll be back with you in a few days.
It's George, not me. It's George.
I know it's George. Come here. We'll find a nice, quiet place for you where you can rest.
No,
and
George,
you'll be back with
George,
your family in
don't let
no
him
time.
do this to me, George.
All you need is a few days of rest and you'll be just as vital as ever.
Wait! Hold the wagon train, boys. I'm a coming.
6. It rained nearly every day for about 8 weeks. A chilly, monotonous downpour that soaked everything and brought out mildew in the center of packed crates. It saturated the prairies, and on through that slough, the horses and oxen had to pull the unwieldy wagons, frequently with men and women helping at the wheels. Everyone who could walk slithered through the mud. 6 miles was a big day. 1 mile, not an uncommon one. Spring, summer, early fall came. Some were still struggling to leave Nauvoo.
From your bag. Did you sell the corn?
Yes, Lizzie, I sold it.
For how much? How much did we get?
He gave me 9 bushels of corn.
9 bushels of corn? That's all?
That's all.
Last year you took 150 bushels off of that piece of ground.
Well, Silas Johnson hasn't sold his farm, and since the mob shot his horses, he has no way to leave either.
What'll they do?
I don't know, but they'll have to find some way to get out. They won't let them stay here.
Well, unless he admits he's no longer a Mormon.
No, Silas would never do that. His religion means too much to him. You know that it does.
2 weeks. You have just 2 weeks?
2 days, Lizzie. They've given us just 2 days now.
2 days? How can we sell our furniture in 2 days?
Nobody's going to buy it, Lizzie. You know that.
Not even this lovely settee?
Not even this settee. Why should they buy it when it'll be theirs for nothing?
We should have left earlier. Emily Pratt got $40 for her furniture.
Well, you know, I was planning to harvest the wheat before they made us leave. Would have gotten at least 150 bushels to sell.
Well, Mr. Haskell sure drove a fine bargain for himself, didn't he? 9 bushels of corn. That means we're going to have to take the Surrey, doesn't it?
That's right, Lizzie. There's just no way we can buy a wagon now.
This seems so unjust. It's not like we're criminals or riffraff or something. Your father fought in the Revolutionary War. And our son is marching at this time with the United States Army towards Mexico.
Well, Lizzie, there's no use hashing this over. We just have to leave like the others.
Well, we should have fought back. We have a militia, you know.
You know President Young is against the spilling of blood.
Well, some people are not. Ephraim, I hate to leave this nice great home you built for us. And you spent a lot of time working at the temple.
We'll build another.
And we'll be driven from that.
Not out west, Lizzie. The only ones out there to molest us are the Indians. And President Young says we'll feed them, not fight them.
And what do you plan to do with that nice fat pig of ours?
I'll slaughter it this afternoon and we'll cure it as we go.
And if we don't go in 2 days?
Well, they'll take us down to the river like they did poor old Brother Johnson and throw us in, saying they're baptizing us again.
Oh, Ephraim, is it always going to be this way? Are we always going to be hated and driven? This is our 3rd home we've been driven from.
I don't know, Lizzie. I just don't know. But meanwhile, there's work to do. We can't just stand here feeling sorry for ourselves. So let's start putting things in service.
Well, I'll take my nice red chair out first.
Lizzie, you know we can't get that chair in the Surrey.
I brought this chair all the way from Connecticut, and it belonged to my mother.
Well, I don't care if it belonged to the Queen of England. We can't get it in. And besides, it's the most uncomfortable piece of furniture I ever sat in.
But it's so beautiful.
You'll think the little food's more beautiful when we start running short on the prairie.
And it would really brighten our log cabin.
Sweetheart, I've no time for tears. Either you can go where we're going, weeping all the way, or you can make the most of it. Now, which is it going to be? it first.
By the fall of '46, on the banks of the Missouri and still en route along the trail, there were 15,000 saints, 3,000 wagons, 30,000 head of cattle, a great number of mules and horses, and immense flocks of sheep. It was evident they could not pursue the trek to the Rocky Mountains before winter. And so on the banks of the Missouri River, a temporary city was built for their winter quarters in which to await spring. The saints who left Nauvoo late were still arriving when winter set in.
Well, George, it looks like you're about through whittling another duck.
And another, and another, and another. You know, I thought I'd enjoy the peace and quiet with Agatha no longer around, but I'm lonesome. Mighty lonesome for that woman.
I can understand that. A woman like that, you'd miss.
Here's a light. Oh, it's so cold. Maybe this is where they are.
Come in.
Agatha! What a surprise to see you. I didn't have anyone to talk to or listen to.
It's nice to see you.
They told us we'd find the two of you here together.
How did you get here?
We came with the Lamberts. They made room for us in their wagon.
Well, what are you doing here?
I came to find out how you got that book of Mormon in my pickle barrel.
So you found the book, did you? Did you read it to Ezra?
Started to, but he went east when he heard about some quack that would restore lost hair.
Did he take the book with him?
No, I wouldn't let him. I found that book wasn't silly at all. Had to read it twice before I was converted.
Have they converted you yet, George?
Yes, and I'm going to do the woodwork on the new building. Have we been converted?
Well, they started to, but I stopped them when they told me I should honor the head of the house. I'm still trying to figure out who it should be.
They tell me Brother Brigham can perform marriages.
Do you know someone who'd like to get married?
Are you still going to run away from me, Peter?
No, not anymore. I've always wanted someone to study this book with me.
George, you're finally going to have something to do besides twiddle those thumbs.
Like what, Agatha?
Get some help. We've got to get a room built onto this cabin before winter sets in for Peter and Abigail.
Are we going to have a wedding? Well, congratulations.
We've got to have a
What's
cabin
going on
raised.
here?
Peter and Abigail are getting married.
Wedding! Well, let's have a song! Oh, wedding! Winter quarter wedding! Way up here in Iowa, gonna build a brand new house. Cause way up here in Iowa, he's got a brand new spouse. For a brand new spouse, he's gonna have a house to break the winter out. We'll build a honeymoon hut for two. And that's what it's all about. A little boy here, a little boy there, a lean-to goes up fast, so fast. A lean-to on our lean-to. Goes up, it goes up, it goes up, it blast. Way up here in Iowa, protection from the storm. A buffalo robe in a honeymoon hat. It's time to keep them warm. So very, very warm. So
how the journey was made at all, but conviction stilled their backbones. By the time they left winter quarters for the final trek to the valley of the Great Salt Lake the following spring, the Latter-day Saint people were thoroughly organized into companies of 10s, 50s, and 100s. Rules and regulations for the benefit of efficient travel were approved by each company.
Gotta have rules and regulations, gotta have a way to guide this company. Gotta have rules and regulations, rules are here to stay. Gotta have rules and regulations, large communities gotta be governed. Rules are the democratic way to deal with the problems of today. Rule 1. For the rising generation's benefit, no one's allowed to swear. Nor shoot within 22 rods of the camp, nor have little guns here there. Gotta have rules and regulations, wrong too many is wrong too all. Gotta have an orderly company, more orders, the law of heaven. Gotta have rules and regulations, there's a right for everyone. Better use all in the very best rules, the young run the very best plan.
Rules 2, 3, and 4. Retire at night at 9 o'clock and rise with the sun in the morn. Nightly gather at 8 for prayer. By 7 a.m. be westward born.
Gotta have rules and regulations, gotta have a way to guide this company. Gotta have rules and regulations, rules are here to stay. Gotta have rules and regulations, large communities gotta be governed. Rules are the democratic way to deal with the problems of today. Better have a leader who's a real go-getter, and fewer the rules the better.
Praised as the most successful immigration to the West, the Mormons' epic journey to the valley of the Great Salt Lake fulfilled the prophecy entered by Joseph Smith in his journal of 1842 when he said, "I prophesied the saints would continue to suffer much affliction and would be driven to the Rocky Mountains to become a mighty people." Memories of Nauvoo's noble beginnings still burn brightly. Thank you for letting us share them with you tonight.
Won't it be sweet when we gather to meet a rendezvous in old Nauvoo on the streets of old Nauvoo? When we